because this
Oh,
is
I thought you,
good.
okay.
This is already the tea.
Oh, okay. Here's tea. All right. So Mitchell Berman won the Democratic primary what is today? The 21st? It's just last week. God, why was it only last week? Anywho, Wisconsin had its primaries last week. Mitchell Berman came out the winner in the Democratic primary facing Congressman Brian Stile, who took over Wisconsin's first district basically from Paul Ryan. He used to be Speaker of the House. He was the vice presidential nominee when Mitch, what is his name? Mitch Romney, right? Did I have his last name right? Anyway, Mitt Romney, not Mitch, Mitt. Good Lord. Anyway, and he has faced challengers periodically over the years, but I don't think, because this is the way the boundary is drawn, it's a safe Republican district for the most part. You have the city of Racine, the city of Kenosha, tiny little parts of like Milwaukee County, but like Oak Creek, Franklin, they vote usually like Republicanish, right? Yeah. But this is the first time that I can remember that the Republican Party of Wisconsin has created a website of, they're calling it The Real Mitchell Berman, to basically get people to think that he's not about what he's about. Right. But here's the thing. This is why it's not a good idea to do this. When you have a hyper local journalist, me, who has covered Raymond, me, where Mitchell Berman lives and his kids went to school. Okay. So this is what they're saying. Caused a school lockdown. False. That happened when they walked the gay principal out, which I've been covering for a really long time.
Yes.
That part. Okay. Opposes tax relief. Also, I mean, it's wildly exaggerated. He creates, he wants tax relief for middle and lower income, and higher taxes on more wealthy. It says supports defunding law enforcement. Okay, this is where they truly messed up, because underneath they have a list of where they get their sources. So supports defunding law enforcement. Number 3, it lists his name and a date, and it has a timestamp. So what it is, it's a video from a campaign stop. They didn't even cut the video. It's the whole campaign stop, which is actually quite detrimental to Stile.
Wow.
Because when Berman's talking about defunding, what he's talking about is ICE. He's not talking about local law enforcement. He's talking about ICE and having people who get more money than the United States Marine Corps. That's a verifiable fact. They should not be armed and masked running around America's streets.
Agreed.
That's what he's talking about. So they put the whole video up there, trying to, I don't know, stretch the credibility of it. Oh, well, we put the whole video up so people can't say it's a doctored video. Do you honestly think people are actually going to pay attention to that 1837 timestamp?
Exactly. Yep.
They're going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just oh my God. And then the last one is that he falsely claimed residency in Raymond and tried to register to vote there before he legally lived there. So this is the truth of what happened. I'm writing a whole article about this with Substack. Anyway, this is what really happened. The Bermans sold their house, where I think they lived in Caledonia. Anyway, for anybody who doesn't know, this is Racine County, I-94 bisects it. Let's say this is Lake Michigan, Caledonia's over here, Raymond's over here. Okay. They sold their house. Let's just say it was Caledonia, because I think it was. Then they were building their house and staying with friends or relatives while the house was being built. But they changed their driver's license. They registered their pets. They changed it. They had all the things done. And so then they went to register to vote. And the village of Raymond was like, no, because your house isn't built, so you don't really live here. And they were like, what? So they went to the Wisconsin Elections Commission, which said, well, no, they can vote there. And instead of letting it drop, the village took the state to court, not the Bermans. They took the state to court. And the Racine County judge, Boyle, I think it was, anyway, said, oh, no, this is correct. But here's where I think, and because I'm no lawyer, the hell do I know, right? Mm-hmm. But where I think the judge was incorrect was, what's the relief then? If they can't vote in Raymond, but they've moved all their address, their residency, all of that to Raymond, they no longer live in Caledonia, where's the relief? And that's what Wisconsin Elections Commission based their decision on. They don't live at their old address because they sold their house.
Okay.
They're just waiting for their house in Raymond to complete construction.
Okay.
So anyway, so those are the 4 primary points on this Real Mitchell Berman website. But this is the first time the Republican Party of Wisconsin has taken this deep of an interest in an opponent of Brian Style, which tells me a district that was not considered in play is very much in play now.
It's kind of creepy.
It's not unusual though. Like, this happens all the time. As long as there's and it's not against the law, the FCC or the FEC, maybe both,
right,
said as long as there's super clear communication on who's paying for the website. Like, if you go to the bottom of the website, it says paid for by the Republican Party of Wisconsin, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee, right? That's what it says.
Right.
So it's not necessarily Brian Stiles' campaign that's doing this. It's the Republican Party of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. But that's one of the major. So if Mitch can flip that seat, that's huge, because not only that, but we have Dick Van Orden, who is also a Republican here in Wisconsin. He is very much in danger. And then get this.
I'm listening.
Sean Duffy, District 7, a little further north. Sean Duffy from The Real World is now the transportation secretary for the Trump administration. And his son-in-law, who's, not a great person, is running for that seat. But but they're also saying that he might be in danger too. So there's a possibility that we could flip 2 seats here in Wisconsin to Democrat. With a very heavy maybe on the 3rd one. So
okay.
Anyway.
So Wisconsin has been busy, I see.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. And this, I'm confused on so many different levels.
I think that speaks for all of us.
Let me just say that I think we're going to see in this round of elections coming up, which is what we're talking about today on the Rivalry Report, is a bunch of this. We're going to see, and I'm trying my best not to swear, but we're going to see a bunch of this crap. We're going to see a lot more.
Like we've never sworn before.
I know. Because I'm trying, me personally, I'm just trying to be better, but we're going to see so much more.
Listen, cursing is actually a sign of intelligence. So let your
honey, I must be smart as hell. Okay.
Let your fuck flag fly, sir. Friend.
I mean, so listen, this is what we've been talking about, basically with the Brownstone Brief every day. Yep. We go live, and just stressing so much. And I think that was, one of the things that you and I have been talking about are these midterms and what's happening. And just with the crap that you just talked about with what's happening in Wisconsin, where I used to live, it doesn't surprise me that they're going to these lengths. And like you said, y'all not even trying to hide the fact of what you're doing. But here is what gets me the most out of all of this is the fact that if you're gonna create a narrative, edit it first.
That part.
You know what I mean? That really gets me. And I think I'm just kind of thrown off that they would assume, hold on, why am I way over here? My microphone is way over here. There you go. Why are they
Really
assuming?
crystal clear now. I feel like
Yeah.
the costs billboard as you go north on
Yes.
43, right? That's like we
What
just
do you
had.
say? Yeah, so there's an echo. I have high ceilings and there's an echo in my house.
I got you.
But all of that aside, listen, I'm disappointed and not so disappointed. But here's the funny thing. Thing is that the people that are creating these sites and they're doing these things,
Yeah.
they're right.
Oh, my chair.
Because we're not paying attention, Heather. We're not. And
no, you're not wrong. Yeah.
That's the hard part. And that's why they're able to get away with what they're doing in terms of, saying, okay, here's the file. We're going to tell you what to believe, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if we're not careful, they're going to believe the narrative. Wait a minute, they already are.
Well, see, okay, but part. I think the fact that people aren't paying attention and already believing the narrative are both one and the same and also very different. Because let's use the guy you were talking about yesterday.
Right.
When was it yesterday you were just talking about that guy? I don't remember.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. So the one that so y'all.
This is a banana pants.
This is a what?
Banana pants, but it's also indicative of of the larger problem.
So let's dig into this because I want us to understand why we're even having this conversation today, but it is so necessary, y'all. So I was watching the primaries in Florida.
Yeah.
And
that was Tuesday.
Yeah, that was Tuesday. Thank you. And for those of you all who don't know, Luther Campbell, founder of 2 Live Crew, Uncle Luke, was running to have a seat for senator. He had a watch party for this night.
Wait, U.S. senator or like a state senator?
State senator.
Oh, okay.
State senator. So
I just wanted to be sure that we clarified that because the woman who did win the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Florida, totally different person.
Yeah. So let me just clarify because I believe it might have been U.S. So that's a lie. It was U.S. It was U.S. Okay. He was running for U.S. senator.
Okay.
And I thought, first of all, when I saw that he was, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is, he may have an opportunity just based upon, his popularity, But when we talk about the sister that won, grassroots, no funding, very little. That's a whole different conversation. Okay. Let's bypass all of that. All right. So here we go. First of all, let me back up. I have to back up because I also need to put this in perspective. One, over 2 million people did not vote for the primaries in Florida. Wait a minute. Registered voters did not vote. Okay. Let's put that in perspective.
I think also, do they know what? Well, I guess you wouldn't know, right? But like, based on vote outcomes, like here, I'm just going to use this as an example, but here in Wisconsin, like 500, this is a round number, so this isn't accurate, but like 500,000 Democrats turned out to vote and only 200,000 Republicans turned out to vote, right? Like something like that. Have they broken that down in that manner in Florida? Do you know?
No.
Okay. Okay.
And again, I haven't gone back to look, but this was the report that came out Wednesday morning, was that 2 million registered voters in the state of Florida did not vote, right? All right. Now, here's what's really interesting about all of that is that I did some additional digging and I found out that during midterm elections, 4 out of 10 individuals and just this random 4 out of 10 folks, I'm gonna have to pull it up because I don't want to say it wrong, but 4 out of 10 folks don't vote in midterms, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, now.
Wait. Are we talking midterms or primaries?
Primaries.
Oh,
primaries. Okay. No, midterms. We're talking midterms. Hang on. Let me
so the
pull it
general.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, 4 out of 10. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and then kind of stressing a lot of this is because what we need to understand is, first of all, let me back up because I'm all over the place now with all of, and I should have had my facts right because I forgot who I'm talking to. Okay, so here's the thing. This dude comes in and they have him on camera. Heather, this was the part that flipped me out. And I saw it was on Threads. Flipped me out. You shouldn't have ever told me about Threads, first of all.
I make no apologies.
Listen, he said with his full chest that he didn't know. He admitted that he didn't vote. Red flag. I don't know what he was doing on camera. And she was like, well, what do you think about the elections? He was like, well, I didn't vote. And in my head, I was like, well, why are you here? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing at Luther Campbell's watch party here? Well, I wonder how many other people were at his watch party because he was and is Uncle Luke from 2 Live Crew. What did you think you were going to see at a watch party for him? Oh, I know, but we're not going to go there. So he said, I didn't know that I was supposed to vote in this midterm. And he didn't say midterm. I'm just paraphrasing. He didn't know. He said, I thought I was just supposed to vote for the president. Like when we came out for Barack Obama and everybody came out and we rallied together and got him in office. And I thought, oh my God.
How old is this gentleman? Do
this
think?
Brother was about our age. He wasn't no young cat.
The willful ignorance. How first of all, what does your mug say? I'm sorry to digress, but distraction.
Squirreling, it's okay. Coffee pairs nicely with silence.
So does ignorance. Like, what?
He said it with his full chest.
How?
I know. Man. He said he didn't know. But then, wait a minute. It hit me. How many other people don't know that the midterms matter, wait a minute, more than the presidential election?
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but then it also brings to mind, because I beat the drum all the time about local elections, right? That's my particular band, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait. And you're right, because you're talking, your state attorney, you're talking about your state attorney general, you're talking about your secretary of state, you're talking about your judges, you're talking about your commissioners, your county commissioners, your state officials, your school superintendents, all of those things. When we are not voting locally in our state elections, you are telling people, first of all, that the pothole in your fucking lawn doesn't need to be fixed.
Okay, but I'm going to use this as just an example, okay? I did not have anybody coming to my door. So Gwen Moore is and has been the congresswoman representing the city of Milwaukee, plus probably little pockets around. But
since I was there.
Yeah, she's 80. Okay, she's 80. She's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Now, did any of her canvassers come to my door? No. But she had an opponent. She was primaried. None of her canvassers came to my door either. And as much as so this is on me too, because I'm just going to do a mea culpa moment. I didn't even know Gwen Moore was being primaried. Right? I I was like, oh, well, she's not being primaried, so I'll just, I was going to vote for her anyway, right? Like, what else? So then to go to the ballot and be like, who is this person?
Yeah.
I never got literature from either one of them. I never had canvassers come to my door. Now that's for U.S. Congress. On the other side of it, my assembly person was being primaried. And I got literature. I got literature from her, like maybe once, but I got literature from her opponent and got visited 3 times by canvassers. So, like, I think that's a lesson in ground game, right? Like, what's your ground game? Because that's how you connect with people. So I'm wondering if that gentleman, number one, never got any literature in his mailbox, never had anybody knock on his door, and frankly, was he living under a fucking rock? Like, it's one thing to not, like, and I put this on me, I didn't know Gwen Moore was being primaried. That's one thing. But to just not fucking know there's an election?
He knew.
How?
The problem, well, see, here's the thing. He knew because it was everywhere. Because first of all, why are you I'm going to give you an example. And okay. I think you and I have actually talked about this.
We probably have.
So a friend of mine and I were having a discussion right after the election.
Okay.
Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. He was saying that he something, and I was furious. First of all, let's talk about that. I was furious because I was like, oh my God, this stuff is already starting to happen. I don't even know how the country is going to recover XYZ because I can see forthright. And he was like, well, it wouldn't have been any better with Kamala. Actually, it probably would have been worse, blah, 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 blah. And I went, oh my God, how could you possibly say that? And say that with your full chest and believe that. He was like, well, don't you know her history and her past and blah, blah. I was like, what about her history and her past? What do you know about this woman who is an attorney and has had a long-standing political career? Oh, because of the lies that they told you about her prison reform that she did in California. Oh, that's one. And then the fact that she supposedly slept her way to the top and all of that, when in reality, she was dating a divorced individual.
Okay, but first of all, can we go back to that last one for a hot second? Why is it always women sleep their way to the top and that's supposedly bad? What about the men who demand that fucking favor?
Yeah, right, exactly. Let's talk about that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Down, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. So we were having this conversation and I was like, brother, are you listening? You heard what I said. I said, brother, are you listening to what you're saying?
I don't think they do.
I was like, so what you're telling me is that you voted for Trump. Is that correct? He said, no, I didn't vote for him. And I said, so if you didn't vote for Trump, and you didn't vote for Kamala, what did you do? He said, well, I didn't vote. I said, well, then you know what? This conversation can stop right here. It's over because you didn't choose.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything to say. And then he went on and on and on. My point is this, is that he made a decision not to vote. Mm-hmm. How many other people make decisions not to vote because you believe the lies, the media, the propaganda? You don't, and here's a big one, you don't do your own due diligence and do the research for yourself. You allow other people to put stuff in your face, and then you say, oh, okay, well, this must be law because it's right here in black and white, or it's online. It's on the internet.
Guess what?
I hope I'm making sense.
Fake website for Mitchell Berman.
Bingo, which brings me back to that. So again, in my brain says that this dude literally said, I believe him when he said that he didn't know. Let me tell you why.
I would also believe him, but it also is indicative, again, of a larger problem.
That's right. Exactly. There you go.
it's indicative of a larger problem because we have everything we want to know at our fingertips. Always. We carry it in our purses and our back pockets. Men carry it in their front pockets. Our pockets aren't deep enough for that. Because they don't like us to have pockets. Anyway, but it's I think it's indicative of a larger problem that number one, people are lazy. They like existing in a little bubble. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of things on Threads this morning while I was going through, and it was too heavy for me. I just couldn't, right? It was something I couldn't absorb at the time. That doesn't mean I won't look at similar content later, but this morning I just couldn't deal. But I also think, and I hate that we have only this two-party system, right? Because it would be delightful if we could have ranked choice voting or something like that, right? Something out. But I think, and I sent you the link. I don't think you had a chance to watch it, but
oh, wait. We're about to listen to it right now. I couldn't wait.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind? Let's go ahead. Hold up. Let's go ahead. We go. I waited so we can, but I hope I'm making sense with what I said. I honestly believe that people truly do not know, because it's not stressed enough how important your state primaries are, and also the midterms. They're not stressed enough. And let me say something else. They're not taught like they were when we were in school.
No, they don't. And this again, because Paulette and I just keep beating the drum. We keep beating the drum, right? That because literacy is so bad, just regular literacy is so bad among American adults, our civic literacy is even lower.
Yeah.
Because I forget what the figure was, but it was like, I think during our first or second episode, we talked, I think there's only like a third of American adults, can tell you what the three branches of government are, or how many.
Oh my God. Heather.
Right?
It's no.
It's terrible. I don't, take that statistic with like a little bit of a grain of salt, because I don't remember what the exact number is. But it's why when I went to the Obama Presidential Center last week for the first time, oh my God, it's amazing.
Don't do that. You see how she rubbed that in, y'all? Wait a minute. No. I'm a hater. First of all, I understand how close you are in proximity to the Obama Presidential Center. You're a hop, skip, and a drive to get there. But I'm a massive. Oh, did she go? I'm such a hater. I'm such a hater.
I mean, ma'am, you tell me when you're coming back home to visit. I will get us tickets for that day.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I
have a whole extra bedroom. You don't even got to talk to your family. You can just come right here. I will pick you up at the airport. It is 10 minutes away. I will bring you here. Walter will love you. Jelly will probably want to jump on you. That's okay. Oh no, she probably won't be living. They won't be living here by then.
Well, first of all, my daughter will have a hissy. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm coming there for a photo shoot for the cover of Brownstone Living magazine. That's a shameless plug, by the way.
When?
It's supposed to be in October, but I need to lock the dates down with her, because it's supposed to be like, I don't know, a bunch of wardrobe changes and stuff, and I'm gonna be tired, but I don't care because I'm a hater, because I want to go. But that's a whole okay, y'all. Anyway, okay, so
there's a dress for the portrait. I'm just saying. And then this is okay. So outside, we are digressing. Outside, there is this bronze statue of the two of them from the first inauguration, like when they were walking in the parade.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Woo, there it is.
Oh, I'm such a hater. Oh my God.
It's really huge. It's huge. Okay. So then you can walk up to it. You can high five Michelle and the president.
Come on.
Right? There's a line down the plaza for people who want to take pictures with it. So anyway, okay, I just had to rub that in a little bit. My point is,
and you did, and that's okay. I'm gonna let you have that, because we're just gonna have to plan some time, and I'm just gonna have to just go. That's it.
I mean,
all right, let's listen to this.
Yeah. Go. Yes. Okay.
Right,
We need to preface this just a little, I think.
let's preface it.
Okay. So as I was diving down the hole of threads this morning, as I do,
The Hall of
because
Threads,
so
which
funny
is Twitter.
all the
Twitter
time.
back in the day.
It's what Twitter used to be before
Yep.
that pasty, knock-kneed, gender-affirming dickhead took over.
Did you say that?
Gender-affirming, care-having ass.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway, so there was I just happened, as you're scrolling, based on like other things that you stop on, there was this British woman, and she is apparently more of like a British political creator, but she's like, I'm commenting on America today, and basically, I don't know what y'all are doing, but you all are acting like the midterms are going to be like the second coming, and that's not how it's going to be. Okay, play.
All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna turn it up. Hang on.
Today I'm making an exception because I've noticed something really odd. Democrats are planning for the midterms in November like it's a reset button. They're going to win back Congress, investigate what's happened, fix what's broken, and then move on. Because that's how it's worked for the last 250 years. Governments follow the rules, they lose elections, and they give up power. But those rules don't apply anymore. A fascist government has dismantled the US in less than 2 years. It's ripped apart the civil service, sacked the scientists, opened millions of acres of public land to oil and gas drilling, stripped protections from national forests and ocean monuments, and gutted the agencies that used to manage them. The norms are already broken. If Democrats can accept that, if they can actually sit with it and accept it, then everything they believe about how America works collapses. So they don't accept it. They keep believing that the rules are still there, even as they're watching them be dismantled. That's hyper-normalization. Living alongside the extraordinary and treating it as if it's ordinary so that you don't have to face what's actually happening. From the outside, British woman here, it's really obvious. The rules don't apply anymore. So why are they still planning as if they do? Fascist governments never willingly give up power in an election. It's never happened. And I don't believe it's going to happen this time either. The elections won't run normally, and we've already seen lots of examples of how that might happen. I'm saying this now, what's today's date? August the 11th, so that when November comes around, we can say, hey, we spotted that in August. If you're still here, you're my people. Follow for more.
I mean, she brought me up super short, even though you and I have talked about this a number of times.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because as she was talking, because y'all, for those of you all who are watching, this is my first time listening to it, like some of you. I thought about a conversation you and I had when we first started the Rivalry report.
Yeah.
And she's echoing what you said.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The rules don't apply. And so, and I think that's what makes me so angry with Jeffries and Schumer is they're still governing, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
As if everyone has respect for the traditional way government has been operating and how they have operated government. None of that exists anymore.
Right.
None of it.
I agree.
And when you couple the British woman, so then there is a liberal progressive creator, Suzanne Lambert. She's actually a comedian, but she was in a Washington, D.C. Restaurant, and she overheard two of Trump's people talking, and they said Trump needed the president.
I'll play it. Can I play it?
Please do. God, please do. I'll paraphrase while you're finding it.
Yes.
So they were talking about the Trump presidency and how he needed the presidency to avoid going bankrupt. And that the whole goal for taking over the American government was to amass as much wealth as possible. And they know that the Republicans are losing the midterms. They know that when Democrats take over, that there's going to be investigations. But can I just also slight aside? Can they move a lot fucking faster than they did on January 6th? What the fuck?
Super
Why
fast.
is it so goddamn long? Anyway.
Super fast. It's all good. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
But anyway, so they have this whole conversation and she makes a video of it. And of course it's taken down and then she puts it right back up again. Just like, you're not going to be quiet. I'm not going to be quiet. But go ahead.
And guess what I did? Yeah. I knew that they were going to take it down.
Oh,
so
I know you did.
I was like, oh, I'm pulling this. Because when I saw it, I thought, so here it is.
Yeah, please play it.
And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up because y'all, and it's 8 minutes. So forgive me, apologies, but you gotta see this. And here are the two gentlemen that she's talking about. She's a comedian, for those of you all who don't know, but let me go. Here we go.
Genuinely, for once in my entire life, I was minding my own business. I was not trying to overhear the Trump's friends talking shit about them. I was simply trying to pick up my alterations and rework some jokes in my set. And I'm going to explain how this happened for me chronologically so that you, the listener, are along for the same ride that I was. I arrived solo at this bar to work, right? And there's only one available booth open. And in one part, it's like a guy and his baby. And then on the other side, it's this much older gentleman, neither of these men pictured. We'll get to this guy later. And then like a few minutes later, a woman maybe half his age joins him, right? Many such cases. A few minutes later, they're kind of boring, talking about whatever. These two dudes sit down and almost immediately they start spouting off about Trump, right? I hear Trump, 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 Trump. And I look at them and I'm like, clearly these are not allies, right? Like there is genuinely like such an energetic presence when someone is just like evil that was very tangible in the air. And I was like, okay. I want to hear what these guys have going on. These guys, and especially the guy on the left, who I'll get to later, they immediately start talking shit about people who were impacted by the Doge layoffs. Now, mind you, I think it was like 40% of the federal workforce voted for Trump. So they're talking shit about their own base. They're talking about how all of the protesters, these are people who lost their jobs, by the way, not just like random ass people. They're talking about how the protesters who lost their jobs were congregated outside the buildings and that they looked like homeless people. They were talking about this one epic photo that was taken of some guy, I didn't catch his name, and he was wearing like a cowboy hat stepping over these protesters as they're like crying and screaming. And then this guy, who I'll get to very shortly, was like, yeah, and protesters are how you know that you're doing something right. Like, literally, what the fuck are you talking about? Just like, this is literally his face when they're talking about it. They are dying laughing at the idea of like hundreds of thousands of regular ass Americans losing their jobs. Okay. Now, mind you, this is right after they had just talked about his super expensive vacation to Dubai. This guy also was saying really awful things about trans people, like making fun of a trans woman. He did use her correct pronouns, which like, okay. But he was like, she was screaming like, don't misgender me. Like you can tell it was the only time he had ever made someone laugh in his entire life because he's just like not charming or likable. But then it gets way juicier, okay? So this guy starts talking about his daughter who is named Lily. And he says that Lily just lost her biotech peptide business. He didn't go into reasons why, or I couldn't hear them, but it's called American Sciences. And he starts talking about how she is considered the face of the MAGA movement and how her biotech peptide company is totally booming and how it was very much a fake it till you make it situation. I want y'all to know I have timestamps for everything that I am saying. Literally said it was a fake it till you make it situation. She knew nothing, but the more interviews she did, the more visibility it gave her to appear like she was an expert. He was like, yeah, Rogan wants her to come on. He said RFK is involved. He didn't elaborate on that. And then he was like, yeah, she's a pretty girl. So, she's pretty good at pitching it. Like genuinely admitting outright that his daughter owns a biotech company administering these peptides that they have no business administering. And also that she started the entire company essentially on a lie. Okay, cool. This is where it got fucking crazy. Essentially, the guy next to me was saying that Trump was dead broke, living solely off of his campaign contributions, like after January 6th, all of these different pending lawsuits, and that he really ran for office, yes, to like not be in prison, but also to get out of debt. And the guy on the right, Gentry Beach, said, word for word, the admin basically said, we're going to make as much money as we can, and we don't care. And then the guy next to me said, if he doesn't win the midterms, he's going to go bankrupt. We're going to get slaughtered in the midterms, and honestly, I don't give a shit. Direct quote. Now, who are these gentlemen? Gentry Beach, who is not a Scooby-Doo villain, as you might guess, despite his name, is Don Jr.'s best friend. Yes, they are like godfathers to each other's children. So that was the guy on the right in the picture who has lost a lot of weight thanks to his daughter's peptides. He did mention that for the first time since high school, he is 212 pounds, okay? They've made a ton of money together using Don Jr.'s government connections from his dad, right? But apparently they're like beefing right now. Some digging, and Gentry Beach was charged while Trump was president in 2018 with 4 or 5 different felony counts.
I think we can stop now.
Various
Yep, you can. Yeah, so that's what's happening. And the thing is that, you know,
First of all, let me say this. We have said this, that was why
where
he
I
won.
was going.
This
I was
ain't
trying to
new
think of it in a
news.
different way, but that's what
That's what we knew. We knew this guy was getting ready to go to jail.
Yep.
He knew that.
Yep.
His team knew.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and put everything in trust. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make sure that everything is shored up. And I have been saying that this is a full and absolute outright money grab for them.
Mm-hmm.
We have heard recordings of senior leadership at GeoCorp saying, we're getting ready to make a shit ton of money.
Yep. Yeah. And the thing is that number one, they're not hiding it. They're not even like trying to be covert about it, right? Which is why I think it ties back to what that British creator said, is that the rules are out the window. And because the Supreme Court said he can't be prosecuted for any crimes committed while he's president, right? So, okay, and I haven't looked at, I'm going to look it up right now, but my question is that retroactive? Because he should be prosecuted for January 6th and anything he did during his first term. Does the SCOTUS?
So that, I'm just blown away. But I wanted to make sure that you guys heard it, because these are the billionaires that are in the circle that literally know what's going on, and they're laughing at you and I, just the regular everyday people going about our lives, hoping and praying that everything is going to be the same when the midterms come around. And like this particular individual from the UK said, it's not going to happen. And so what does that mean? And I'm just tossing this out here for the people that are listening and who are going to watch this later on. I'm just curious. Number one, do you know what the midterms are? Are you prepared to vote in your state primaries? Yeah. Do you know who is running in your local elections? Have you done your research now? Have you started? Folks, we are 71 days away from the midterms. Yeah.
Oh my God.
71 days. We've been counting it down on the Brownstone Brief. Seriously. 71 days away from the midterm elections. And so, I think, go ahead.
Sorry. No, finish.
No. It's okay. Go ahead.
I lost my thought. Go. Sorry.
Okay. Don't you hate when that happens?
I love ADHD. Go ahead.
So where I am going with this is, number one, let me go back. Let's talk about the three. I'm going to run this down really quick. This is what we talk about during the Brownstone Brief. We have the news piece, and then at the very end, we do our educational piece, and we talk about who's on the ballot. Now, a couple of things that we talk about. Number one, we have done an entire educational series. You can go ahead and check it out at Brownstone Worldwide on YouTube. That is a shameless plug. But we talk about the three branches of government. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that during our first or second rivalry report.
Yes, we did. And I felt like it was important, but it's more so now important. It's more important than ever.
That's why I brought up the Obama Center. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Because they have an entire exhibit, like dedicated to the education, civics, 101.
civics.
Really is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's interactive. Go ahead. Sorry. That's why I brought it up. And
No worries. No worries. It's okay. Because see, this ties into what I was getting ready to say. You need to understand what those 3 branches of government are. Okay.
Yeah.
That's first. You have to
name them. Number 1, the executive branch, president.
Yep.
The legislative branch, Congress, which is the House and the Senate. And the third is judicial, which is the Supreme Court.
And the unofficial fourth, I always like to say, the press.
The press. Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah, unofficial. Now, we also have gone through her eyes. That says everything. Like, oh my God. But we've seen what's happened recently.
Media can suck it.
Well, yeah, not them. They don't count anymore. Right. So here we go. Then we talked about the Constitution. Yes, we did. We have gone through the preamble. We the people, because that's the only in order to form a perfect union. Yes. Now.
That is Schoolhouse Rock. For anybody who doesn't know, go to YouTube, look up Schoolhouse Rock. You will learn so many things, including how a bill gets through Congress, conjunction. What's your people give you there if you're very pronouns. You'll learn all sorts of things about grammar and government.
Absolutely. And you understand what verbs are?
Verb.
That's what's happening. Anyway. Okay. All right. So I encourage people to get their own copy of the Constitution. You can get these at local 5 and dime stores. This was at Five Below near my house. So I went and I picked up one. And here's the thing. We go through the preamble and you understand that we are the people. That's number 1. Number 2, we went through the 1st through the 5th Amendment. We went through the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And then we went through the suffrage movement to understand about your voting rights. So you understand all of that. Then we went through gerrymandering. We went through all of this. Now, we decided that the next best thing to do is to take each state, break them down. Who's running? What are the primaries in each state? Who's the incumbent? Who's the person that's going to try to run against them? What are PACs, super PACs, APAC? Who are the lobbyists? You need to know what these things are so you can make better decisions. Have you checked to see if you are registered to vote, folks? That's another thing, because folks are finding out that their names are not on the rolls.
Even if they've registered before, there has been a concerted effort by conservatives to purge even eligible voters from voter rolls, saying that there's too many dead people voting, or there's illegal undocumented immigrants who are voting, which is mostly nonsense. They very much have a solution in search of a problem. Right? That doesn't exist. Voter fraud is infinitesimally small.
Like right here.
Like the eye of the needle. I don't think we can push our fingers together small enough to indicate how much of a problem this is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blowing it out of proportion.
Oh my God. Because if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to stop you from voting.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's really not that hard.
It's not that hard. And so the other thing that we are encouraging you to do, you need to check and see. How do you do that? You can go to vote411.org. You can find out. That's number 1.
Yeah.
You can also go ahead.
Here in Wisconsin, it's myvote.wi.gov.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can find out also something else that you definitely need to be doing. And a lot of people are not aware of this, is you can actually get a sample ballot.
Yes, you can. And almost, I think every state has this. I don't know why they wouldn't. I think they do. Every state has the ability, if you're going to vote early, so that's basically voting by absentee ballot. You're not going and like filling out a ballot and putting it through a machine. You're voting absentee. Legally, they cannot count your ballot until election day. Just know that. So whenever you hear polls that are like, well, early voting indicates that so-and-so is ahead, that is a bunch of crap. Nobody knows. Your ballot is sealed, is secret. It is not open until election day. Period. It doesn't matter where you live, period. Right. Okay. But when you vote absentee, you can follow your ballot. You can follow it from the time you requested it to when it was mailed to you, to when it was received, to when it's like you can follow the whole life of your ballot.
Yeah.
So just know that that's available to you. If you're like, oh, I'm not going to make it on election day. I'm too, I've got doctor's appointments and kids stuff. Like, we get it. People are like lives, right? Like that happens. But that's why early voting is available. And in most cases, you can early vote by requesting a ballot be mailed to you, or if you want to, typically for 2 weeks before election day, you can go in person to fill out your ballot. Now, again, that's still considered an absentee ballot. So it is still sealed, it is witnessed, and it is held until election day. Right? So it's not, again, you're not filling out a ballot and they're running it through a machine. That's not happening. Okay? That's not happening. Again, they don't count your ballot until election day. But if you're like,
but it makes for great news.
It does make for great news. It makes for good, angsty kind of headlines. But if you're like me and you love going on election day, because who doesn't want to walk around with their I voted sticker? It's like I'm always proud of my I voted sticker. And then we always get a future voter sticker for Zeta. Anyway,
right.
Because she's like, are we going voting today?
I love it. I love it.
So, but the election is these, aside from like your Congress and Senate person who will be going to Washington, because there is a certain degree of separation there between the representative and the public, right? But a lot of times, like here in Wisconsin, every single assembly seat, which is like the Wisconsin version of the House, is up for election. Every single one. That's 99 seats. 99 seats in 72 counties. We have 72 counties in Wisconsin. 99 seats are up for grabs. Period. Like, that's happening, right? These are the people who make state level decisions that then trickle down to your local level. So I don't know, like, when are your local elections? Like your city council?
You know what? I think we've already had them. Hang on. I think because I voted last month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was last month. And how I know is because we have Rick Jackson and Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
Kemp is not running again. So yeah, I voted last month. And let me tell y'all what I did. This is my truth. I'm sticking to it. There were some people that were on the ballot that I wasn't familiar with because I didn't pick up my my sample ballot. I stood there with my phone and I did my research. It was like 2 people in my county.
Okay.
And I actually did the research right there because I know what I
you mean. Hang on. This at your fingertips where you can find information
on the fly. Yeah, I did. I'm not kidding. I did.
I'm not surprised. That what I'm saying is that for all of you ignorant ass people who say they don't know anything, the fuck, you have it all right here.
Yes, I did. There were a couple people that I did not recognize, and I thought, oh, okay. Hey, Cheryl, SR Brillinger, good morning, neighbor. Listening, Florida law allows election officials to start counting early in-person and mail-in ballots before election day. Wow.
Well, that's good to know.
Thank you for that information. We appreciate you for that. Thank you.
How soon, though, I would wonder how soon, but I'm going to look it up.
Okay, cool. So ultimately to that point, and Cheryl or SR Brillinger, who is watching us on YouTube, let me just say this big shout out to her because she's been hanging tight with the Brownstone for almost 2 years. I think it's been 2 years. And just kind of hanging out with us. And so She knows that at 11:30-ish, she says, thank you both. At 11:30-ish, we go hard for news and information and we talk about civics, because there honestly are in my lives people who didn't know or don't know, and how important these midterms are. But honestly, Heather, to your point in this conversation that we had earlier in the year, like last year, it was, nobody's playing, like the Republicans are not playing fair, period. But then at the same token, let's also look at the fact that the Democrats aren't either.
No,
because
I think that's what's so
understood,
frustrating, though, right?
yeah,
That's what's so frustrating is that, you know, it's it is a matter of vote blue no matter who at this point.
mhm,
For real.
mhm.
Like, that's just got to be what it is.
Yeah.
Although I am tickled that more like run-of-the-mill Republicans are beating MAGA Republicans in primaries. I like that.
I mean,
Just saying.
same.
But I think what's so frustrating as we return to the whole things can't, like, first of all, returning things to normal, that wasn't working anyway.
It wasn't anyway.
How are we
Yep.
kidding that was like some great all amazing system? Like, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Many people
Yeah.
were left out, you know,
Yep.
like lots of women and non-white people, like, hello.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
It wasn't working for everybody. So let's not pretend that it was, because it was still a
Right.
shit show. But
Mhm.
but that's why I think it is so frustrating. It's because people are like, return to what exactly?
Yep.
You know, it's kind of like during COVID, we had a really amazing opportunity to rethink how we do public education.
Right.
And we blew it.
Yeah.
We blew it. Instead, we kept these arbitrary, man-made benchmarks that kids are supposed to reach by certain ages and blah, blah, blah. Never
And they're
mind.
falling behind, folks.
And never mind about individual, you know, abilities and neurodivergence and, you know, whatever. Like, never mind any of that. We're still going to keep this very blanket definition for everyone. And we blew it.
Yep.
Because all we can ever think about is getting back to normal.
That's horrifying. Because why would you want to?
Thank you. Oh, okay. So I just looked up ballotpedia.org has a list of every state and when they process. So Florida, they are processed upon receipt, which I think is kind of everybody, but upon the completion of the public testing of automatic tabulating equipment, which begins not more than 25 days before early voting commences. So that's just testing equipment. That's not really counting. But they cannot release the results early. So, and every single one of these says, can't release results, can't release results, can't release results. So anybody who says, well, early voting indicates that blah, blah, blah is still a lie. Right?
Yeah.
Even if they are processing your ballot and they're putting it through the machine to make election day go faster, which makes sense, because God, how often have I been up since till like 2-3 in the morning waiting for these freaking results? But you can't release the results until election day.
Gotcha.
After
Okay.
the polls close. You just can't.
All right. Y'all heard it first. Thank you so much for that, Cheryl. S.R. Brillinger, big shout out to you once again.
Well, thank
and
you
then
for
also,
that up.
Yeah, she's one of our neighbors, and we're so happy to have you, girlfriend, in the building. Big shout out. So listen, I would love to sit here and just continue to have this massive conversation, but we're running up on our hour, and I know, Heather, you have a ton of stuff to do, but yeah, me too. But let's go here first. So a couple of things. Tell the people who you are, and you better not put the cherry on top, because she's good for that.
Oh, really? Pot meat kettle. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rivalry Report. We know we've been gone for a while, and we are sorry about that, but The truth of the matter is we could not get our shit together to make it happen. And that's just keeping it 100, as Paulette says. But now we are here. We're going to be doing this on Friday mornings. We found this spot in both of our schedules. Here we are.
Yep.
Okay, so I am Heather Asiyanbi. I am the editor of several best-selling adult nonfiction books. I also am a Forbes columnist. I was an Inc. columnist. I am an independent journalist. And I am Paulette's co-host. Here we are.
And she writes.
And I'm the head. Okay. The head writer for Brownstone Living magazine, for which I am eternally grateful because those stories are so fun. Anyway, okay.
So good. Big shout out to you, and thank you so much for that. And if you want to check out Heather's articles that she has written, here is the magazine for the summer 2026. It's a dual issue, Brownstone Living magazine. How can you get your copy? Absolutely head over to brownstoneworldwide.com. And at the very, very top of the website, above the masthead, you will see a banner with Coach John Lawson III on the cover. You're going to tap that, and it's going to immediately take you directly to the magazine. And her pieces are always so well informed, and you always bring in additional people. And I just want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We love you for everything that you're doing with us and Brownstone Worldwide and Brownstone Living magazine. I appreciate you. You have no idea.
Okay.
But all right. So y'all, I am the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and Brownstone Living magazine. Now, also, I got a couple of awards to my name, some Grammys and some American Music Awards and some things and so forth, or whatever, and a Soul Train Music Award to my name. But none of that matters at this point because it's all culminated into what we are currently building here. And I am the co-host of the Rivalry Report. How did we come up with this crazy name? Well,
clearly we're not on opposite sides of issues.
No. However, if you notice the color of the logo, we got to tell the story behind this.
Yes.
It is orange and it is
blue and gold.
Let's talk about that just for a hot minute. So I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and so is Heather. We went to rival high schools. I went to Riverside University High, and she went to Rufus King
Preparatory High School for the college bound. Do not get it twisted.
Oh, correct me. So, I actually went to Rufus King for middle school. For the gifted and talented. And then they opened up Riverside University College, and it wasn't college prep. You went to college while you were in high school. So I ended up having to take classes at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee while I was in school, and I had to apply to get into Riverside. Otherwise, I would have been at Rufus King through high school, I'm sure.
Well, you also had to apply to King, which is why people were mad at us all the time. Oh, you guys think you're all better than us, and are.
Yeah, but I mean,
and are. But it was also. Pardon me?
It wasn't easy getting in.
No, it was not easy. But so anyway, so Riverside's colors are blue and orange. King's are blue and gold, and so that's the logo color. That's our story. But here's the funny thing, because people always ask, oh, you guys have known each other for a really long time? No. Just about 3 years.
Yeah.
About 3 years, but it feels like an always kind of a thing, right? Mm-hmm. Feels like always. Yeah. And it's never, when you can do something professional with someone who you consider a sister friend, then it just makes it so much better. So that like doing this with you means a lot to me. Number one, we're very aligned on things. Do we have different viewpoints on stuff? Yes, of course we do. We're people. We're flawed individuals, right? We do. But for the most part, what I love about doing this with you is how much I don't know about broadcast stuff and how much you do know and how much I learned from you about all this. Because let's not get this twisted. Brownstone Worldwide is a media conglomerate. It is an empire in the making. So let's not diminish all the things that you do.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And here's a perfect example. I was sent, okay, I'm going to give Freddie a plug here. All American flashcards, okay? From Urban Intellectuals, okay?
Yes.
Urban Intellectuals has built its empire on Black History playing cards, Black History flashcards, and that. So they produced this deck. These are not playing cards, they're just information cards, right? Mm-hmm. But they produced this deck to honor Americans that we might not know about, although there are some very well-known faces in here, like Eleanor Roosevelt, like we know her. But look at this artwork. Look at this artwork.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Right? But then
I'm a hater. Why he didn't send me no cards? What did we do?
I don't know, because I got it like that, I guess.
Oh,
but then there's people that, you know, I don't know very much about, right? Mm-hmm. Like this gentleman right here, never heard of him before. He was a leading Chicano activist for land grant justice. Didn't know. Here is Fred Korematsu. I didn't know him either. But after Pearl Harbor, he refused incarceration, was arrested, and challenged the policy in federal court.
Wow.
Right? These are people that I have never heard of, right? And so, and I mean, what I really like about it, hold on, I got to find an example because otherwise these people all are the same. But like for the activists, they have peace symbols in their, they have peace symbols. But look at this artwork. I mean, this artwork is incredible. Frances Perkins, never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
She was a reformer in labor and industrial labor.
Oh.
Like this artwork is gorgeous. Anyway, I think that with these cards, look how many cards you get. It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
But this All-American flashcard deck plus the Black History cards also, which I don't have around me or I'd grab them. From Urban Intellectuals. They're important, especially now because there's such a concerted effort to remove the accomplishments of certain groups of Americans from American history, right? So anyway, so go to urbanintellectuals.com, buy her. Okay, there.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen. So big shout out to Freddie Taylor. And his whole team at Urban Intellectuals. I hope I spelled that right. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen because I believe it is so super important for us to help to preserve the history of those folks, not only Black folks, because as you can see with the All-American cards, those cards are literally a lot of the information that we're losing and we're missing, why we have unions, who were a part of the suffrage movement and your rights as employees in this country and so forth. And you definitely need to know that. Why is that important? Because currently, this current not administration, but this entire situation that we're watching in politics and what's happening around the world and what we're actually seeing when it comes to these news outlets, they're all complicit and compliant and holding information from you. And you have an absolute right to that, right? We're even talking about, some states who are removing specific books from libraries and from your schools when ultimately you have a right to have access to all of this. And so the sad part is, and the wonderful part is you can always go to places like Urban Intellectuals. Big shout out to him. So that's his website. Just wanted to thank you for that, Heather. I appreciate you for saying something about that for sure.
Yeah.
But
all right, y'all. Have an amazing day. We'll see you next Friday. So Friday.
Yeah, next Friday.
At 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central.
This is our spot. We'll be here.
All right. Well, folks, that's it for now. I will see the rest of you all if you're going to be coming and hanging out with me today during the Brownstone Brief at around 11:30-ish, 11:45. We're going to jump in and get started. We're talking about news and information, and also we're going to cover Carmelo Anthony. We're also going to be covering a couple of other things that are happening in the news, and then we're going to talk about who's on the ballot for Texas.
There we go.
All right, folks. We'll see you around. Bye.
Adios.